we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. The party's here on the west side, so I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Get the shot cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and my guys ain't the eye. All my gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. You gotta get your groove on before you go get paid. So take off your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say, I'm kind of buzzed and it's all because this is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's get the crack to the old school back. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. All hands are in the air. And wave from here to there. If you're in a dollar bill, joy. If you were from where I'm from, then you would know that I gotta get mine in a big black truck. You can get yours in a 6-4. Whatever it is, the party's underway. So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party. To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's go back to the old school back. This is how we do it. R&B, NCC. This is how we do it. I'll never come back on an old school track. This is how we do it. Turn it down. Mr. DJ and Paul was his name. He came up to money, this is what he said. You and OG are gonna make some cash. Sell 1,000,000 records and we're making the dash. Oh, I'm buzzing the club. This is how we do it. South Central does it like nobody does. This is how we do it. All my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. I'll never come back on an old school track. This is how we do it. I'm kind of buzzed, so good. This is how we do it. So Central does it like nobody does. Nobody does. Oh, it's party time. This is how we do it. Straight up coming from the west side. This is how we do it. OG's got the flavor. Yeah.
Good night if it's night. And a big hearty salam alaikum to each and every one of you that's watching us live or will be listening to us in archives. Well, guys, if you see, we have started something new, okay? We're starting to live broadcast through It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere's fan page on Facebook. I decided it was the best way to do it. Maybe keep some of the trolls out and things of that sort. Today is Wednesday, baby. It is Wednesday, and I'm so happy to have y'all with me. I gotta tell you, I am more than happy to announce that the Mile High Conjure Gala has its dates for this year. The Mile High Conjure Gala will be on November the 7th and 8th, okay? On November 7th and 8th, guys, if you really want to come and check us out in the premiere, the flagship of what we started by going state to state, province to province, and having over and check us out over there. Well, today I have an axe to grind. I have an axe to grind with certain spiritual readers. Okay, because it has been brought to my attention, and give me a minute, guys, because I'm working 2 or 3 things at one time with certain spiritual readers. Okay, guys, there is no curse. Okay, there is no curse that I know of in any ATR. Okay, I have no known curse known in the ATR that can turn a person gay. All right, because you know I've gotten this. Oh yeah, there was a curse placed upon sexual or lesbian or whatever type of tracks. There ain't no such fucking thing. Okay, so if a reader has told you something like this, okay, it is fucking wrong. All right. If a reader has told you this and you have accepted this somewhere inside your head, you have to check your beliefs. You have to check what it is that makes you think. Okay, you have to check your prejudices, your homophobia. Okay, there is no fucking such thing, not that I've heard of. And if it is, it must be some new wave shit. Okay, stop the foolishness. All right, I do. Okay, so if anybody tells you some foolishness like that, and if you have to go see something, check yourself. It's just not possible. Okay, so stop it. All right, I don't understand why a reader in his right mind would tell someone something like that. Not for the life of me. That it could somehow be cured with removing a curse, that it can somehow be cured. It reminds me of the Christian church with the shock therapy and all that kind of foolishness. So what are you doing? Are you bringing in Christian concepts into the ATRs and DTRs? A curse from God, a curse from the ancestors, or anything like that sort. It isn't. People are born that way. People have always been that way. There are homosexuals in your spiritual cord. They just couldn't be as open as they are now. Is it a gene? I don't fucking know. But what I can tell you from God, we all are people. And you better start loving each other. My name is Candelo Kimbisa. This is It's 12 o'clock somewhere, baby. Let's put on some music. And then I'm going to tell you why the fuck you shouldn't be reading on your bed. I'll be right back. Well, I guess everybody is getting well today. Come on, you. We'll share our secrets. Love talk is spreading. A little love is fun. Give up this day to show our gratitude, to change our attitude. Come on, we're many. Malaikum salam. I'm Boyanza.
Yes, y'all, set it off. Yes, y'all, set it off. Come on, let's set it off. Set it off on the left, y'all. Set it off on the right, y'all. Set it off. Come on, let's set it off. 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 Yeah, it feels like something's about to jump up in here. Set it off. I want to get to it now. Get to it. Yeah. Let's smoke this one out now. Let's smoke it out. Set it off. Set it off. Set it off.
Tyrone Jameson just joined us. I see our Facebook fan page doesn't have as much followers as it should have, so I decided to do all the live broadcasts through. It's 12 o'clock somewhere, which is our Facebook fan page. Sarah Stay Paid just joined us. Now that was, or that is, Strife, which set it off. Yvette the Motown Witch just joined us. Love is gone.
but it won't get done. Don't turn away. Live up to say, to show our gratitude, to change our attitude. Come on, we're many. All that we feel, it's time is ideal. To set it all by suggest, y'all. Set it all by suggest, y'all. Set it all. Set it all. Set it all. Set it all on the left, y'all. Set it all on the right, y'all. Set it all. Set it all. Set it all. Set it all by suggest, y'all. Set it all by suggest, y'all. Set it all. Set it all.
And yes, Wild Moon Child, I was able to find the farm here in Atlanta. Well, close to Atlanta, not quite Atlanta, but I was able to find a farm. Um, okay, guys, today's topic is something that I find very disturbing. Okay, um, there are a multitude of people who are okay. Um, I always find this very disturbing. Okay, because a lot of these people that I see them doing it are doing it real late in the nighttime. Okay, they're doing it very late at night, and I'm wondering, don't these people ever sleep? Okay, is the first thing I think. I know there's a lot of night owls around amongst us, and a lot of people that have trouble sleeping. Okay, but I'm going to tell you the reason why I believe that people should not be doing readings, any type of readings on their bed, where there should not be anything spiritual connected to your bed or connected to your bedroom for that matter, unless it's a protective measure, a protective measure to keep certain entities out of your bedroom. Okay, we can all agree that tarot cards, chambalongos, whatever type of divination tool you use is a portal. Okay, it's a door. It's a door to the spiritual world. We can all believe or think, or everybody that's a true reader thinks or knows that reading cards is not a mechanical thing. It is a doorway into spirit. It is spirit led. Okay, it is brought to you by spirit. Okay, all right. We all know that certain odus in Lukumi or in Ifa are not spoken because you can bring those odus on to yourself. We all know that spiritual doors need to be closed and opened accordingly when you do certain things. I have also noticed a whole bunch of people that do readings online or on lives or maybe here even on YouTube that do these things without doing preparations before and after they do these readings or do these consultations. Then you have to think that you're opening the door or the portal to certain things, okay, to a spiritual world. I mean, it's fine and dandy if you're reading cards, and everything that comes out is dandy. But we all know that there's a negative and the positive aspect to everything that we do when it comes to spirituality. Just like I wouldn't tell someone to please open up a Ouija board on top of your bed. Your bed has three functions. Well, a multitude of functions: rest, sex, and then again rest. Your bed is not a portal to the spiritual side. And I see so many people doing this that it alarms me because I see the same people saying, "Oh man, something befell me," or I can't sleep at night because of whatever, the ancestors got me going. No, the fuck they don't. What has you going crazy is that you've opened up a portal on your bed. You have opened up a door to the spiritual realm on your bed. I often tell people, and I continue to tell people, if you're going to do readings, if you're going to do all these things, find yourself a little spot inside your house. Man, put a nice tapestry behind it. It does not need to be done the place where you go to sleep, because you're opening portals. And if you are a true reader, if you are a true diviner, you would keep those things closed. Now, for those of you who have done this and have opened up these damn portals, okay, where you can't sleep at night, where the same things that you're reading for people are actually happening to you, then you must know that whatever you're doing is wrong. Because if I'm throwing out some cards and all of a sudden shit starts going wild for me, starts going crazy for me, and the same thing that I read for someone is coming up in my life, that means you have not taken the appropriate measures to clean yourself, to clean your space, to close that portal that you opened. Just think about it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Reason. You should not be doing readings on your bed. You should not be doing readings one right after the other without having a method of cleaning yourself and closing that portal. Because these odus or these. So, guys, do yourself a favor. If you've been reading on your bed, find yourself a little spot somewhere inside your home. Make sure you protect that area. Make sure that you close that area off to certain spirits. Okay? Because you have opened up a whole portal to a thing or a realm of spirits that you do not know anything of. And I've often said this. And a lot of people will not agree with me. Because a lot of people say, oh, no, these cards are not led by spirits. Are not, spirit does not come to me. I just know what's going on. Guys, we also have to see, okay? We also have to see and realize that sometimes that these spirits that we're speaking about are wolves in sheep's clothing. They are not what they appear to be. Because they are trickster spirits. There are spirits that are made or have been made or are in that realm where they're going to fool you. Sleep well at night. I've often seen readers that give 1,000 things that may be happening to a person, but don't give an antidote. Let's say, let's stop this. Let's help this person on around their spiritual realm. You cannot pay for my services, but maybe you can do this to quell the situation, to help the person on their path. Because not every reading comes about in some fucking work. So we have to see it for what it is and be careful of the people you get readings from. Because there has to be an antidote for all these fucking maladies that are going on inside your life. So today, for most of you who are having trouble sleeping, for most of you that have these certain types of entities inside your bedroom, because if you've opened up a portal, today I'm going to give you a little work. Today I'm going to give you a work so you can quell that spirit and finally get that rest that you need. It is important. Rest is essential to your life. If it wasn't, we'd be walking around. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you exactly what you got to do to get that room clean, to get that space back in order, to get your fucking life back, and stop reading on those beds. Another thing I want to tell you is there's a multitude of people that come to me for readings and come to me for divination that are suffering again from sleep loss and all those things. Okay. We got to realize that the land that we live in is not our land. Okay. The land that we live in is not our land. It's indigenous land. Things have happened on these lands before. There's a multitude of people that are sleeping directly on the floor. Okay. Sleeping directly on the floor. They got mattresses. They don't have bed springs. They don't have anything. And they're sleeping directly on this sacred ground and are not getting the sleep that they need. Those beds need to be elevated off those floors. I don't care if you don't have a box spring, put 4 bricks up under that bitch. But get those beds off the floor. That ground is sacred. And you have not yet made it sacred to yourself. And yet you're sleeping on it and gaining and attracting all those spirits. When I come back, I'm going to give you some work that's going to help you get that full night's sleep. I am Candelo Kimbisa, and this is It's 12 o'clock somewhere. I'll be back.
Hey, baby, hey, beautiful girl. Say, hey, baby, hey, beautiful girl. Hey, say, hey, baby, hey, beautiful girl. Come along to kiss me. Yeah, for I'm going, come along to kiss me. Yeah, for I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice. Ah, sorry, I'm going. Yeah, for I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice. Nice. Yeah, for I'm going, come along, you. Don't you meditate? Won't you meditate? I send a messenger to tell you that I want to meet you at the station. Come along to kiss me. Oh, yeah, for I'm going. Come along to kiss me. Yeah, for I'm going. Don't you kiss me, nice. Nice. Yeah, for I'm going. Don't you kiss me, nice. Oh, wow. Yeah, for I'm going. Come along, you. Hello, my baby. Hello, my lady. 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 Hello, my sweet. My sweet thing, I come in your garden. I love you. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweet. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweet thing, I come in your garden. Hello, my baby. Hello, my chocolate. Hello, sugar face. Hello. I love my sweet baby. I love you. Oh, baby. I love my baby. Oh, baby. I love my baby. Oh, baby. I love my baby. I love my baby. I love baby. Baby, My love, baby, 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 my love. I love my baby. I love my baby. So do I do love you. So do I do love you too. So do I do love you too. 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 Baby, 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 I love baby, 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 I love baby, I love my sweet, I love my sweet, I love my sweet, I love my sweet, I need my sweet, I love I love my baby, I love my sweet, I love my baby, I love my baby, I love my baby, I love my chocolate, I love my baby. Hello, hello, my friend. Hello, my sweet. Hello, my hello. I love you. I need you. 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 Oh, baby, 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 baby. My sweet tea, I love you. Baby, 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 hello my sweet, hello, hello my sweet, hello my chocolate, hello, sugar, hello my baby, hello, hello my love, hello my baby, hello my love, I love you, baby, I need you, baby, I love you, baby, I love you, oh my baby.
All right. So since we were talking about, these interfering spirits that are not letting you sleep and some of the reasons why they're not letting you sleep, now I would not be anywhere without giving you an antidote, without giving you a way to be able to sleep better at night and how to close these portals. So today I'm going to give you two antidotes, okay? First things first, you're going to have to clean out that room, okay? Smoke it out. Sulfur is good, okay? You're going to have to clean it out, okay? Maybe a plant called espantamuerto just to get them rid of them, and then you will be able to bring them back when I tell you and how to tell you how to do this, okay? Espantamuerto is a very good plant to be able to get rid of some of those egg wounds, okay? I am not an advocate of sage. I am not an advocate of Palo Santo. I'm not an advocate of none of that, okay? I use old-fashioned ways of doing things, not these new things that have come into the spiritual communities. Everybody's saging, everybody's using Palo Santo, everybody's using, okay, fine with you. If it works for you, great, okay? I like to use either a plant called espantamuerto, I use garlic, okay? Or I go real old-fashioned and burn some fucking sulfur, okay? So once that is done, okay, let me tell you about a little plant, a known fact that mostly no one, really talks about anymore, okay? I talked about it maybe a couple of weeks ago. Vicks Vapor Rub, okay? Vicks Vapor Rub has some of the most great or best healing and spiritual components inside of it. All right. It has camphor and it has eucalyptus. Okay. Two very good things. If you remember back in the days, okay, any ailment that you had, especially if you were from the Caribbean, okay, if you were from the Caribbean and some southern African Americans also used it. Vicks Vapor Rub was used for everything from headaches to chest congestion to removing of spirits. Okay, so there is nothing wrong with you after you clean out your room. Okay, to take on the windows, on the door, on the glass, on the corners of your bed to actually cross out a little bit of Vicks Vapor Rub. Just as simple as that. Okay. Yes, Vicks Vapor Rub. Okay. The other thing is that a conjure worker showed to me years ago, which is wonderful. Okay. I'm not knocking Native American practices like dream catchers and all that type of stuff. I'm not knocking that. But if it's not part of your culture, you should honestly leave it the fuck alone. Okay? All right. So a working that someone gave me, and please do get yourself a paper, a pencil, and something. I'll give you 3 seconds to go get it. Okay? Get yourself that. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you're going to protect your room. Okay? First with the vapor rub. All right. And second with this other thing that I'm going to give you. Okay? So hopefully everyone has a paper and a pencil together and they're going to be able to do this. If not, just go over to YouTube and check it out, or go over to the It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere fan page and find it there. Okay? Do not influx me with fucking inboxes and all that stuff there, because I'm giving you all that I will give you for free right now. Okay? For this working, what you need is 4 bowls. Okay? 4 bowls, some kosher salt, 4 eggs, some palm oil, a glass of water, and some efun, okay, or cascarilla. All right? Okay. Once you get all these ingredients together, you're going to take the bowls, you're going to put the kosher salt inside of it. On top of the kosher salt, you're going to put an egg. On each egg, you're going to make the sign of the cross on each. All right? You're going to move your bed. Move it. Get it out the way. Now, wherever the center of the bed is on the floor, okay, you're going to take the efun, the cascarilla, all right? And you are going to make a cross right down the middle of it. On top of that cross, I want you to place a glass of water directly on it, right in the center of it. Okay? When I'm telling you a cross, I'm not telling you a Christian cross. I'm telling you a cross, a plus sign, a big plus sign. Okay? All right. You're going to put the glass of water. Then you're going to take a small tea light candle and place it next to it. In the 4 open spaces of the cross, I want you to put a bowl on each space of it. Okay? I want you to turn on a small tea light candle. You're going to turn on that tea light candle. All right? You're going to dip your hand inside the water and spray it on each one of those bowls with the eggs on it. Then you're going to say Psalms 23 and Psalms 91. Okay? You're going to be praying over this as this burns, as this candle burns. Once the candle is burnt out, I want you to move the tea candle out the way. Okay? Make sure that it's completely out. You're going to remove the 4 eggs from the 4 spots, the 4 bowls. Just move them out. Then you're going to place your bed back in the center of where the cross will be, in the center of it. Okay? Once you do that, you will take the 4 eggs and the 4 bowls and put them and place them on the 4 corners of the bed. Now you're probably saying, what the fuck is this shit doing, Candelo? Well, what it's doing is it has created 4 guardians for you. 4 guardians. Okay? It has created 4 guardians on each side of your thing, or your bed, that will not let any other spirits come bother you at night. You will get a full night's sleep and you will be able to rest. The cross, or the cross symbol, signifies or shows us the 4 cardinal points of the universe, and they run eternally. So I've showed you how to stop these nighttime terrors, how to get yourself a full night's sleep, and only let these guardians that are there to guard you actually be able to take care of you. And that's the only spiritual thing you need inside your room, because you need to fucking sleep. Guys, I am Candelo Kimbisa, and this is It's 12 o'clock somewhere. I hope you're enjoying this damn thing. And while you're enjoying this, just let me play a little something to you and let me remind you who the fuck I am. I'm the motherfucking magic man, the bald-headed wonder himself, Candelo Kimbisa. I'll be right back with a story from High John the Conqueror, baby. Get ready. It's going to be a good one. I'll be right back.
I can pull a rabbit out of a hat, disappear and return like that. 'Cause baby, I'm your magic man. Tricks with cards are easy to do. Tricks with hearts will cast a spell on you, darling. I'm your magic man. I'm your magic man. Won't you let my magic hands touch your heart and make your love appear? I will stop your frowns and turn them upside down. I'll be around to hold you near. If your heart is broken, bring it to me. With a wave, I'll mend it. Ooh, you'll see, darling, 'cause I'm your magic man. On stage in lights, I'll dazzle your eyes. Later on, I'll make you realize, darling, I'm your magic man. I'm your magic man. Won't you let my magic hands touch your heart and make your love appear? I'll be around to hold you. I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold. I'm your magic man. Won't you let my magic hands just touch your heart and make your love here? I'll stop your crowds, turn them upside down. I'll be around to hold you near. I'm your magic man. Won't you let my magic hands touch your heart and make your love appear? I will stop your frowns and turn them upside down. I'll be around to hold you near. I will stop all your frowns, turn them. I'm your magic man. I'm your magic man.
And of course, that tune is called Your Magic Man. Guys, do me a favor, Okay. You know that, I know this show is a little bit unorthodox, let's call it that, okay? Because I'm actually giving lessons, reading stories and giving advice, okay? Real advice, real spiritual advice that helps people that are in search of the real thing. Okay. So do me a favor, like, share these words of wisdom. Okay. Go like our fan page. It's 12 o'clock somewhere. Follow me on social media. But most of all, like and share these broadcasts because you found it. I want someone else to be able to find it. I want someone else to benefit from the little gems that I share each and every week on It's 12 o'clock somewhere. Another thing that I've been doing lately is I've been Spirit instructed me, okay, because I get so much from this community, okay. I do get a lot from this community, and I have to give something back, okay. So follow my It's 12 o'clock somewhere page, and every week, okay, I will be putting up a post, and people will put their names on the post. I have this name picker app or whatever the hell they call it, where I will put all the names in there and give away one free reading a week. Okay, it's totally free. Okay, all you have to do is put your name there. I will announce the winner. The winner gets a full 30-minute reading with me and gets a little bit more insight into their spirituality and where they need to go. I understand that many people aren't doing that well this year, okay, or any year, okay. So that's my way of giving back, okay. Um, I believe that spirit will lead or pick the person that they want who is in most need of that reading, okay. So please don't inbox me asking me stuff. Follow the page, okay. Follow. It's 12 o'clock somewhere. Follow it. Okay. That's to where if you can't get on YouTube, you can see the live stream through there. And also all contests and all things that will go on by me will be promoted and will be shared on It's 12 o'clock somewhere. Okay. So do yourself a favor, go over there and follow the Facebook page. It's 12 o'clock somewhere with Candelo Kimbisa and enter in, man. Enter in for next week. Next week it is going to be there. It'll be done on Tuesday night, and the readings will be given on Wednesday nights. Okay. Okay. Well, that's enough of that. Today's story, of course, comes from The Adventures of High John the Conqueror by Steve Stanfield. It's a wonderful story, but it tells me a lot how things have changed from when I was a child to now. Okay. How certain words were either used in derogatory terms, okay, then somehow accepted and then turned back into something derogatory or hateful towards a group of people. Okay. So today I want to talk about, well, I'm not going to talk about, I'm going to let the story tell you about the word coon. Okay. And how people use the word coon these days as a reference to someone that that is a turncoat. Okay. Someone who is a disgrace to a certain race. Okay. But this word did not always mean those things. Although it started out as a derogatory term, then people started using it as referring to themselves because have you ever seen an old raccoon? Have you ever? A gray raccoon from age. Well, a gray raccoon is an animal that has overcome winters, has overcome traps, has overcome its life adversities. So there was a time where people would say, I am an old coon, meaning that he was a resourceful person. But these days it has turned into something else. And I'm not even knocking it or whatever, but I just want you to see where the word comes about. So again, this story comes from The Adventures of High John the Conqueror by Steve Stanfield. This is the foreword to the story in a box. With slaves taking what they needed to survive, the overseers or foremen of the plantations began to miss things. One day, the melon patch would be bursting with ripe fruit, but the next day, much of it would be gone. What happened to the melons? The overseers would ask. The slaves would say, coons got them, meaning the raccoons. Then, half ripe ears of corns would be missing from the garden. The overseers would ask, what happened to the corn? The coons got it, the slaves would say. It didn't take the overseers very long to figure out just who was making off with the melons and corn. And they began to refer to the slaves as coons. Although the term later became a bitter racial slur, it was the first begrudging recognition of the cleverness and audacity of the enslaved people. In the box. Knowledge can often mean power. A true high John came to understand this very early. Usually the slaughtered slaves on the plantations got the easiest work. So John was determined to prove to Old Master that he was the smartest of them all. He took sitting up under the kitchen table and listened in hopes that he may learn something that we could take a little bit out of slaving out of his life. One spring evening, he heard Master tell his wife, tomorrow I'm going to send John down to the bottomland and have him plow the new ground. John went back to his cabin, and the next morning he was setting up well before the sun came up. He got a plow out of the shed and the mules out of the barn and hitched them up. When Old Master came around and told him, John, today I want you to plow the... John cut him short and said, yes, I know, Master. You want me to plow the new ground. Well, I got the mules hitched and I'm all ready to go. John, how did you know that I wanted you to do? Asked Master. Oh, I don't know how I know it, but I just seem to know everything. John went down to the bottomland and began plowing, and Master went about his business without giving it any other thought. With cotton plowing on the way, he got a good many other things on his mind. That evening, John sat up under the kitchen window again and listening to Master talk to Missy. It's time to clean out the stables. I'll have John do it and spread manure over the new ground he's just plowed. When Master went out to the stables the next morning, there was John raking up the bedding. He already cleaned 2 stalls. John, Master said, how do you know I wanted you to clean out the stables? I told you, Master, I know everything. I don't know how I know, I just do. Why, there's probably a thing I can't foretell. Old Master was a little puzzled at this and said, something funny is going on around here. Maybe so, replied John. But I do know things. And when I get the stables cleaned out, I think I'll haul the dirty straw down to the new bottom line. Master didn't say anything, but he began to consider that maybe John did have a special power and that let him know things. Come evening, there was John up under the window again, listening to Master making his plans for the next day. The barn leaked a lot during the last rains. I think I'll have John fix it. By the time Master got to the barn the next morning, there was John carrying up piles of wooden shakes and up the ladders to the roof. John, he said, you know I wanted this roof fixed, didn't you? I sure did, Master. I sure did. I kept telling you I know everything, and I can see everything. There's nothing that can be hid from me. John spent the day repairing the leaks, and Master rode off into the neighboring plantation to meet with the other farmers in those parts. After they talked about their crops and their problems with their slaves, Old Master began to brag about John. I got a slave down in my place who seems to know everything. Every day when I go out to tell him what I want him to do, he's already doing it. The others just laugh. You must be joking, one of them said. There isn't a slave in the world who's that smart. I'm not joking, said Master. My slave John is smart, and he knows everything. He knows everything, and you can't fool him. In all my days, I've never known a slave that could outsmart, boasted one of the men. Everyone else agreed with him. You can't outsmart John, shouted Master, who's getting angrier with his words being questioned. And furthermore, I will bet on it. There was more talk and more arguing, and before old Master ended up betting his whole plantation, his money, his slaves, just about everything he owned, that his friends could not fool John. Well, come by my place tomorrow, and there'll be something your slave can't tell us about, they said. Master felt so sure that he invited them to a big party inside the house the next day. John proved to him that he knew everything, and that John would show everyone else. That evening, as Master was telling his wife about what happened, there sat John listening. They'll be coming over at noon, and I thought we put up a spread out on the lawn. John heard that and headed back to his cabin. He figured that was all he needed to know. And sure enough, the next morning, there was John setting up the tables and the chairs in front of the big house. Oh, good for you, John, said Master. Then he came out. You know we're going to have a grand old party today, don't you? I told you, Master, I know everything. That's good, because I made a very large bet on you. A bet on me? Asked John. What kind of bet? Come on, laughed Master. You're just trying to fool me. I know you know everything. That's just what I bet my friends. John didn't say a word because he didn't know what to say. But Master continued. I bet all I own on you, John. I'm depending on you. If you win, I'm going to make you a very rich man. But if you don't, you're going to be one dead slave. Because I'll whip every bit of skin off your body. You just be here when all my neighbors come. John knew he was in trouble, but he didn't know what kind of trouble. Maybe I'll outsmart it myself this time, he thought. He wanted to make himself scarce, but that was no way he could do that. Before long, John Master's friends and neighbors began to arrive. They brought their wives, children, and some of their slaves. They wanted everyone to see how they were going to make a fool out of John and his master. Finally, everyone had arrived, and two men took a large wooden box from out the back of one of the wagons and set it on the ground. You, John, come over here, one of them ordered. John did as he was told, all the time wishing he were home sick and in bed. We hear you're pretty smart, the man laughed. Oh, I wouldn't say that, John said softly. Well, your master says you are. John couldn't very well argue with that because it would certainly never do for a slave to contradict his owner in public. John, the man went on, we got a box, and inside that box, there's another box. Inside that box, there's another box. And still waiting inside that box, there is something we want you to tell us what it is. Old Master stepped forward and said, go ahead, John. Show them you know everything. All you got to do is tell them what's inside that big box, and you'll be a rich man. But if you don't, like I said, you are going to be one dead slave. Now, what they had put in the box was a raccoon. And the reason they put it in so many boxes was so that John could not hear the scratching. Everyone was quiet. That the loudest sounds were the tiny chickadees hopping from branch to branch on the magnolia trees up above. Everyone was watching John, and John was watching the box, and he was staring harder and harder, but he couldn't have the less idea what was inside of it. He scratched his head, and the drops of sweat, as big as your fists, began to pour down on him. Sorrier than sorrier that he had tried to prove how smart he was, John began walking around the box to get an idea. In the box, in the box, in the box, he started mumbling in circles around his head. In the box, in the box, in the box, in the box. He knew what kind of trouble he was in now, and he knew it was big trouble this time. He circled the box one more time, and he said, in the box, in the box, in the box. He finally figured out he might as well just give up, and he turned to the crowd and said, you got an old coon now. Everyone started yelling with surprise, and when they turned all the boxes over, a chubby raccoon ran out. Old Master threw his hat in the air and shouted, I told you John knew everything, I told you. And that's how Master won his bet, and how High John the Conqueror became a rich man. So guys, again, this story comes from the adventures of High John the Conqueror. I want you to learn the history behind the words that you're using these days. Because although it may be used as a derogatory term today, and it might have started as an old derogatory term, there was a time when this particular word, cone, talked about winning over, talked about being or able to overcome troubles and troubles times and long age. You're listening to It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere. I am Candelo Kimbisa. I hope you're enjoying this broadcast, because I surely am. Now let me find you something else I want to play before I turn this thing off and go do what I got to do. Let's start it with this here. Why not? We'll be right back.
Oh, man, want good love. Now sympathize. Oh, man, want good love every night. Right up. Love a girl. Daddy. Step up. Action. That's about the motor. So we. Don't be the girl them no go. Action. That's about the motor. So we. Don't be the girl them no go. You think you're so fine. Big chat no work, yeah, man, watch the time. Stop playing with my mind. Oh, man, no, in a joke when she will want the wine. You call me on the phone. I don't know what I'm talking, angel, come down. And now I want you home. I tell Jackie, tell me now you so slow. Action, that's about the mood you sweet. Don't be medical, them no go. Action, that's about the mood you sweet. Don't be medical, them no go. I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? Every room foolish, she know that you know. She wants a man to caress her up like so. And I make love to woman like a war, them a go. Woman a call in a agony, and a out. Just hardcore loving man, you must be insane. Woman no one no man to make she feel pain. Sweet loving in the falling rain. Sweet loving a mix of hard rain. Action, that's about the mountain. Sweet, loving the girl them rock out. Action, that's about the mountain. Sweet, loving the girl them rock out. You think you understand? I mean, being unlucky, I don't want. I need a loving man. What if I love it, don't be no affection? Sweet talks and tender care. No, I don't want to come tear up my fear. Can you erase my fear? Can I come in right over, so that it just be around me? Action, that's about the mood. Sweet, don't be the girl them no go. Action, that's about the mood. Sweet, don't be the girl them no go. I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you call the train reaction?
Bedroom bully, she no want that you know. She want a man to caress her up like so. And I make love to woman like a bar them a go. Come on a ball in a agony and all out. Just hardcore loving man, you must be insane. Woman no want no man to make she feel pain. Sweet loving in the falling rain. Sweet loving a mix of all brain.
Action,
That's about the amount of
the way.
the girl them look so.
Action,
That's about the amount of
the way.
the girl them look out.
I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is going. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is going. Can you cause a chain reaction?
To be end no affection. You know I know romantic here and five years here, carry coming over. And I do just be happy.
Action.
All right, guys, we are coming to the end of this broadcast. I hope that all of you are enjoying it as I enjoyed hanging with y'all. Remember to come check us out, man, and share with us in this experience that we call hoodoo, conjure, and spiritual work. Guys, share, like, and talk to your friends about this broadcast, okay? I know we're bringing something new. We're bringing something almost revolutionary to what we are doing on social media and our social media platforms. Join us on It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere. Join us on Candelo's Corner. Join us in all the things we do, okay? Remember that the Indiana Conjure Fest in Indianapolis is coming up on May 29th to the 31st. St. John's Conjure Weekend is coming up in New Orleans on the 19th and the 21st of June. The Conjure Shop in Omaha, Nebraska on June 26th to June 28th. The next millennium, June 31st to August 1st, the Big Old Conjure Gala. The Detroit Hoodoo Heritage Festival, taking back our roots. Of course, with Yvette the Motown Witch at the Motown Witch. Go check that out. It'll be August 15th through the 16th. We have something new coming up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, September the 12th and the 13th. And of course, now we have the dates for the Mile High Conjure Gala in beautiful Ritual Craft in Colorado. So check us out. That will be November the 7th and the 8th. And Botanica Abre Caminos will be in September. I had the dates. I haven't written them down, but please do follow every page. And last but not least, the MLD Costume Ball that will be held in Dallas, Texas. All right. So please do check out all of us. Check out Lady Magical Duchess. Check out Charles Porterfield. Check out Michelle Jackson, Doc Beverly, Ifa Ibeyu, the Hoodoo Healing Circle with Yayi Joyce. Okay, man, there are so much names for me to say. I cannot remember them right off the top of my head. As my friend Ifa Ibeyu says, charge it to my head and not my heart. All right, guys, as always, may all the eguns and shadows that accompany you have all the necessary light. From where I sit, that's it. Salam alaikum, everyone. Have a wonderful day and catch us on Friday for It's 12 O'Clock Somewhere, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Calla como yo callo mi sentimiento. Frena como yo freno mi deseo. Calla como yo callo mi sentimiento. No le tiendan al corazón. Enseña a ocultar sus amarguras, a que no llore más, a que no piense en mí.
Si yo te había olvidado, por fin había logrado no pensar en ti. Si todo fue tragedia, tú nunca me quisiste porque mientes así. Si no es posible que me engañes más, no implores.